Alright, hello fun and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where today we are, well, still here in Stellar Bay with that beautiful view, and I'm excited because we, I think, have found our final companion of Naoka. Now, I'm not entirely sure if she's just a temporary companion or if she is in fact the final companion we can add to our ship, but I'm kind of thinking she is our final companion, considering the fact when I was just leveling our character, yeah, we can also level her. Now, she seems to prefer the light machine gun and has quite a powerful one there. Very nice, and a cleaver. That looks more like an axe to me, but cool. You do you, Naoka. You do you. Alright, we can actually seem to level her up as well. She can help us increase our lying chance. A threat generated, the usual thing. I've been doing more persuade recently, and our lying's pretty high. Well, what is our lie? Hold on. Character. And wrong one, skills, and lie is at 52, so that would bring us up to 62. Yeah, you know what? Sure, what the heck? We'll let her help us out there. Let's see, radius of footstep sounds. We don't really stealth that much anyways. Melee, armor, and the usual things. You know what? Let's give her some more health. That'll be good. Oh, forgot to actually click that. And what's the last one? Damage to creatures, or the usual things over here. You know what? Damage to creatures would be good. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty confident she is, in fact, going to be our permanent companion here, and she looks awesome. But, as for today's... Oh, hey.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah. I mean, that's life, yo.
Light
That's
years
life.
from Earth, going about our lives.
Uh-huh.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Oh my god, It's a Wonderful Directorate. Jesus. Oh, I love the world building in this. But also, I just noticed, I've never really noticed the reflections in this game before. Oh, pretty good. Alright, so my plan for today, since, you know, we really just discovered this place, haven't really looked around or seen what other quest we may potentially have, is to roll around this town here and find more quests. And we have Bennett, who may have something for us. Let's actually check inside the bar first. Because, well, we got McGuire here. That was just a resident. Anyone up?
Before you met the captain, I mean.
Nah, I mostly just drank and hunted.
Ooh,
Soon as you stop to dream of other things, that'll be the day something sneaks up and eats you.
True.
Don't fret. I'm watching your back now. Anything tries to eat us, I'll give it a mighty whack on the nose.
Well, I'll be damned. You watch my back, I'll watch yours.
Oh, they're getting along. Yay! Alright, anyone else up here? Nope, just standard resident. Oh, hey, person! Auto loader operator, so not a standard resident. And storeroom, we can take things. Alright, let's start with this guy and work our way down. Hey, Caleb.
New face, huh? You from off-world?
I am. So, yeah, of the captain of the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be.
Ooh, glacial water.
Let me buy you a drink.
Thanks.
Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
Sure, you gave me water.
Well, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Quite possibly. What are you celebrating?
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands.
Uh-huh.
We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares.
Okay.
Well, as long as we don't run out of bits.
That generally tends to help, yes.
But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
All right. And what could be so bad? It made you walk off the job. Yeah, I want to know that. Would you get in trouble? Won't you get in trouble for that? I'm going to go with the first one. What could be so bad?
It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to.
Yep, that'll do it.
Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
Okay, so they're free from the board, but still under a corporation's control, which is interesting. But I like that they are striking. Unionize, my friends. Power to the worker. I happen to be pretty good with negotiations.
I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel, but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands.
I will. I will mediate on your behalf.
You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view.
All right. We need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Well, that depends on the options. Sanjar's going to fire Velma. Oh, so we could just end the whole thing right there, huh? How long can you afford to miss work?
Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least.
Okay, so you have an option to steal all their things at that point. Any suggestion for how to put pressure on Velma to negotiate?
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better.
Quite possibly.
The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Some
I'm
of them
not.
are just rumors. We got no proof they're true.
I could find that proof. What's this about blackmail now?
I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the salt tuna warehouse, I reckon.
Noted. All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later. I will help you, fellow workers. Actually, I mean, I'm not a fellow worker, but I used to be. All right, let's roll back down. Let's talk to the barkeep.
Did you have a sweetheart in Stellar Bay?
I had a fling or two, sure. But on Monarch, relationships ain't usually meant to last. A lot of fools tried to impress me, feigning bravado in the wilds, thinking they'd catch my attention with their stories.
Huh.
It was cute. Not so cute when their act got themselves munched. You know what's sexy? Confidence. You know what ain't? Disembowelment.
Too true. All right. Hi, barkeep. How's it going?
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Thanks. I'm getting a lot of free drinks here. I like this place. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Nice.
If you're keeping Nyoka company, you'll need a few to keep up with her.
Ha.
Ain't a person on this planet who can keep up with me. Wait, we are talking about a drinking contest, right?
Now what can I do for you?
Well, let's see. How well do you know Nyoka?
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself.
Hey, you ought to be paying me. Without me livening up the place, y'all would be wallowing in the misery that is your sad corporate lives.
I don't mean that unkindly, Nyoka. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
Well, you had more questions, so you said you're not used to seeing new faces around here.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the iconoclasts or some such.
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna have to deal with them at some point. What happened to Amber Heights?
Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though.
Okay, so that's why they left. And why is this place called the Yacht Club?
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
Very true. So are there any yachts in Stellar Bay?
Nope. But a man can dream.
Indeed he can. Indeed he can. Alright, well, you're a bar, so you have the usual stuff for sale there, so I'm out. Alright, now to the other guy out here. Who was his name again? Bennett. Yo, Bennett.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
You've got a lot of brass for a man doing absolutely nothing.
What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but now you're all free from the board.
Yes, free to wallow in squalor together. Free to squabble with the iconoclasts over a raptidon-infested hellhole. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Apparently not. Apparently not. I'll leave. I have a feeling you'll come into play at some point in the future, but let's see. Resident. Let's not listen to them this time. Nothing I can do back that away. So let us head over here. Let's actually go around this way. There was a guy who ran out of his house asking for our help last time that we skipped by.
Like in Edgewater?
More residents.
You workers were on the clock every available moment.
We always got 8 hours a day for sleeping. Just not always consecutive.
My condolences. I appreciate consistent wages like any other sane person, but that still sounds awful.
It does.
At least Sanjar gives his folks weekends.
I like Sanjar. Don't come, Parvati.
For the void. I used to drop by the bar in Stellar Bay to knock a few back with the folks who had Saturdays off.
Don't know what I'd have done with that much time. I was always behind schedule anyhow.
Knowing you, you'd sit and be alone with your thoughts.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. All right. Good to know they have weekends. Hey, Sebastian Adams. Hi.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue?
No.
Or maybe some canid toenails?
Definitely not.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Mostly?
Sebastian, you ever get your hands on those pheromone sacs? Manipillars ain't gonna hunt themselves, you know.
I must have hunted a dozen, but I couldn't find a single sack on any of them. Must be looking in the wrong place.
Quite possibly.
Manipillars ain't got pheromone sacs. I just told him that so he'd stop asking me for advice.
Ha!
At least I'm getting a good haul of claws in the process. You're in good hands, traveling with Monarch's top merc. Still, if you want any rat glands or manticlaws, I've got you covered.
I do not need those. Why would I want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
Say what?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Why? Parvati, you know who he's talking about?
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for health.
That guy! Oh,
As
the
my
museum
dad told
thing.
It, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
We need to find this
I
man.
kept telling him he was a fool for chasing Mana Queen tail. Anyone looking to get familiar with a queen is liable to become the bitch's supper.
Oh my. Well, I hope he's all right. Haven't seen him in a while.
We're getting a new quest, I feel. Have you seen a Manta Queen?
Sure. They're real big. Hard to miss them.
Where have you seen a Manta Queen?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Well, for Parvati, if he's a friend, I suppose I ought to.
Thanks, Captain.
You're welcome. How can I
All
say
right,
no to you?
Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins.
Past the ruins? That's Manta territory, all right. My professional opinion is that we leave that idiot to his well-deserved fate. No offense.
Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too.
All right, all right. About Mr. Pickett.
Yeah, you find him yet?
No. Yeah, he already told us. Let's talk about something else.
Like
which
what?
I believe everything is done, but I do want to see what he trades.
Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Okay. What? Why? Well, you know what? I can actually finally sell all my junk to him. How much junk do I actually have at the moment? Oh, that's the... That was... Junk? Why is there armor in junk? Huh. Well. There we go. Oh, actually, I realized something as I hit the delete on that. A lot of those looked like parts that I had disassembled before the previous episode. Huh, I wonder if when you disassemble them, if they then become junk after you take the parts. Never thought about that. I'll have to test that theory later. Ooh, hello. Little back area. With nothing of value. Oh. I was hoping maybe there might be, like, someone shady back here or something. Nope. Alright, no one there. Not a door we can open. Hi, Agnes!
Any news, Captain?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about you. I'm just gonna go. I haven't done anything about that yet.
All that ammo in your berth might combust.
What? Wait, it can do that?
All it takes is a little bit of black powder next to a lot of bits of fertilizer and one real hot day, and I've seen it happen.
Have you?
I don't know what's more unsettling. The concept of my ammunition spontaneously combusting, or the fact that this is the kind of thing you think about on the regular.
It's a fair point, Parvati. It's a fair point. Alright. I like these twos back and forth so far. Oh, we got a Zang. Hi.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook.
Gotta go there at some point.
You don't look like one of Catherine's.
I'm not, technically.
What can I get you?
Yeah, I'm gotta head there at some point. Apparently all you do is trade. Never mind. Don't care. Moving on from you. You are a resident. What do we got here? The residents. Ah, there's the guy who's gone for us. Hi.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Are you? Pull yourself together and tell me what happened.
I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this...
But what?
If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is.
Ah.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
I mean, I would take the hot shower rather than just contemplating it. Can you talk more?
The body's in the first apartment on the right. So much blood.
Okay. Well, first apartment on the right. Vending machine.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
You knew we were
Even
coming.
Stellar Bay ain't safe these days. What's the world coming to?
I don't know. Let's look, though. Victim. I mean, I am very much contaminating a crime scene right now. Examine. Tossball betting slip. This betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonist. It's from a left field tossball betting. Ah, we know where that is. Did he die from a tossball bet? Examine. Hastily packed suitcase. Several ragged outfits, all the same cut and color, were stuffed into the suitcase. Well, we searched the apartment for clues, apparently. Is that it? Stainless steel rat? Ah, now we gotta go over there. Okay, let's stop in here then. That is a quest. Sorry, person! Alright. Well, let's, you know what? Look around the other apartments. Maybe there's a person here we can chat with. Sleeping resident. What's upstairs?
Whatever you do, you'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, sleeping resident.
I haven't seen him in a while.
If you've gotten stuck in an hour-long roundabout...
All those people talking. And, oh, Laura, you're named. Hi. Sorry for breaking in.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
I mean, yeah, that really was on me. I just kind of bursted into your place here. Okay, apparently nothing. Cool. Hopefully she'll be involved in something later. All right, moving on. Resident. Oh, no, name place? Just Stellar Bay. Ah, another bar. Just named, no named people. No named people. Hey, Everett!
Good day to you.
Never mind. Raymond?
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit.
Sorry. I seem to keep startling people. Didn't mean to startle you.
Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves.
Uh-huh. How's that?
Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation. And I was a fool for staying.
Okay, why just decide to stay in the first place?
Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long.
You company folk are all the same. Choose to stay, then complain about the choice you've made.
How was I supposed to know it'd turn out like this? It all sounds wonderful, until you realize it's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
Okay. Seems like you'd want more than centimeters.
I could do with a few kilometers of cold vacuum, but that spaceship is flown.
Ever thought about leaving?
Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then?
Uh-huh. Why don't you just tell me?
Nothing. That's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me.
Not with that attitude.
Was there something else? Or did you just want to mock me?
I mean, apparently nothing else. No, I'm off.
Lucky you.
I know, right? Later. Okay, whoop, no getting stuck on the people. What else we got around here? Another gate out. Normal residents. And... trying to think of where we've been so far. Alright, that seems like a pretty empty back alley. Got just normal residents there. We've got... that's the warehouse. That is that place. Let's go into the warehouse. Talk to some of the people in there. I'm gonna go talk to Sanjar. Probably need to go... well, yeah, let's go through the warehouse. Any person in here of value to talk to? Velma! Hi!
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when
Oh,
it's
you're
ready,
the person.
right?
Oh, you're the
She's
person I need
welcome
to
to
talk
come
to.
up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
I'm just here to look around.
Well, if you're that friendly about it, then you definitely aren't one of Catherine's sublight toughs. My mistake. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Oh no! Your chief what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Too true. So find him and drag him out by his ears? Maybe. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
I would if I weren't busy here picking up his slack. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments.
Ooh.
Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
I think he may be the dead one. So... who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 spacer.
Nice. I look forward to meeting her. You said Braxton had been stealing drugs?
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming.
Oh,
And
you like skimming, don't you?
I've noticed the stereobiotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Awfully nice of you to not say anything.
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free.
Mostly? Okay, well, I'm going to leave now because I don't want to talk about Caleb yet. I'm just looking around town at the moment. What's through here? Whoa. Oh. Cool. How much of this can we actually explore? It looks like a large area, but in fact seems to not have much to it. So I guess this is where the salt tuna are harvested. Nice. Nice. All right. Well, let's snoop through here. Worker. Bathroom. And, oh, we're in here. That worker. And that's it for the where. Oh, wait, no, there's an upstairs. There's an upstairs. Let's check that. All the salt tuna. Nice. There's a Frederick.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Probably would help. Hi, Frederick.
Velma's not so bad, long as you avoid her when she's stressed.
Well, looks like you won't talk. Cool. All right, back up here. Ah, where we can probably find the proof of impropriety on her part. Okay, and the last part to actually look at, it seems, is through here. Into this area.
Can I get another advance, Mr.
Celia.
Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Hi, you two. Celia.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Well, what was that exchange about? You having money trouble?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again?
Bravati?
I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all.
Okay.
Mr. Nandi
Hit a nerve.
treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Why? Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or a mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why? Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
A little bit of a
He's sort
squish.
of a
Oh my god, I love
strong,
that.
silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Okay, maybe I can talk to him for you.
Would you? I'd
I
appreciate
would.
that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
All right. Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Okay. You really want to be someone you can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
Ah. Got it. That's all I need.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Okay. Also, the whole thing, she's got a squish on someone Parvati. I love that line. I'm gonna have to remember that. Hi, Sanjar.
Well, new business turns up at last.
I do.
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
Yeah, it's not what brought me here.
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
Ew.
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Okay. So, I kind of like this, but let's not. I like it, but I don't think that's my character. That's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
but not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
No. We'll be truthful with him. I'm just looking for an information broker.
Out at Devil's Peak?
Yep.
If you're headed that far, I see you've brought the right woman for the job.
I hopefully did.
Damn right.
But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for salt tuna.
I mean, I've had my fill, but it could always be both. Maybe it leads to some. If I have to eat one more weird science project past office food in this sprat fuck colony, I'm going to stab someone. It could be both. I'm looking for other quests and opportunities here.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional, erotic, and athletic disappointments.
Okay.
I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
Yeah, if you're afraid of the other corporations, why would you want to bring them back?
Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
Dang it, Captain, that's not right. Folks on Monarch shouldn't have to suffer just because the board says so.
Agreed.
We've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Too true. Are you tired of scrounging and scraping by? Is that it? Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it? Well, I like that. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Who?
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
By doing... I'm gonna go with this one. This lady knows what's going on.
It's true. Our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
All right. And how do you mean to do that?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course.
What now?
If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Yeah, what's the other part of the plan once you get it?
I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
That's no issue. Then I guess I'll go get your Bolt 52. Alright.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. And while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Interesting. I need to ask you something.
What can I do for you?
I'm at Grim, the landing pad. Yes!
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What
Wonderful.
else can I do for you?
I have questions about MSI in the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
Do you now? Oh my god, we have many things. How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Ah, alright. What do you mean that, do you mean that you initiated your own removal?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Really? Huh. Terra 1 and Terra 2, I see the board put their best people on there.
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI.
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
I like it. How forward thinking?
It's humane. But it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers.
Exactly.
Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right because it's the right thing to do.
Oh, Parvati.
Here, here. That may not be the way the colony works, but it damn well oughta.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
I take it leadership didn't embrace your ideas?
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yet here you are!
Yes. Some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low, even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Okay. So why exactly do you want back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've threatened you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Fair, fair. Force them to the bargaining table.
I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power.
Very true.
And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
I find your theory interesting. So what's the hazard clause?
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
Uh-huh. And they've invoked it on Monarch?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
They sound pretty bad.
It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Oh, that's about it. All right. Well, boy, this has been a long episode, but that's going to be it for today. I think we've talked to everyone, and we have a load of quests now to do, which I'm excited about. So next time, we'll get started on one or two of them. Who knows? But until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one.